So now we move on to another pay-per-view namesake match. We've got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Before you get into it, let me just
Sure.
start here. Before the match begins, who is this Rick Boogs guy? Is he like an unfrozen 80s rock god, just fell into a crevice one day in 1988 and just got thawed out this year?
Yeah,
That guy is amazing. I love that guy.
Yeah, but I think it's also worth noting that I didn't get to see it because of Peacock.
Oh, did they mess it up for you?
They went a solid 15 minutes, I would say.
Oh, no. I had to watch it later when I guess everything got fixed.
Oh, live was a nightmare. It was arguably Kevin Owens came out first, and you could hear slices of the crowd just losing it. But you couldn't hear the whole thing because of the technical issues on Peacock. And if you checked Twitter at the time or Reddit or anything, people were not happy. And I thought it was just me, and turns out no, it was everybody. So the match, I think, picked up partway through, so missed most of the entrances, if not all of the entrances. So that was a bummer. You know, you want to see the first entrances back for a lot of these wrestlers. But that was not to be the case.
Wow, so I guess I saw more of this than you did.
Yeah, I missed all the entrances. So, so it was, again, just to recap, it was Drew McIntyre, Big E, John Morrison, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, Ricochet, Riddle, and Seth Rollins for the World Championship contract. This was a great ladder match.
But
yeah,
this was a one where, are we sure all of these guys don't actually just want to get retired?
Oh, yeah. It was certainly a lot of these spots were risky. I mean, starting with Kevin Owens doing his classic, I'm going to take a slam onto the hardest parts of the ladder.
The narrow side of it. At least with the wide side, ladders aren't the most forgiving things in the world, but at least the wide side is a little bit. You go on that narrow side, that's like solid, immovable object right there.
Yes, yeah, pretty brutal. I would say Ricochet carried this match. Ricochet had some amazing spots.
Well, he was carried over here and carried over there and thrown over here.
Yeah, and so just some of his spots off the ropes were just unbelievable. I mean, he really is on another level in these types of high-flying matches. But I thought the psychology was great for pretty much everyone. I thought Drew McIntyre, wanting his last shot, you could say, and Jinder Mahal and co.
He got his head shaved. I miss his old hair. I like his old hair better.
I did too. Yeah. Seth Rollins being the kind of architect and always having a plan for something and that backfiring. So I thought each person had their own kind of and that kind of story, and that's exactly what you want. And what'd you think about the winner of the match, Big E?
Oh, I love Big E. He has the physique of an old school He-Man character, and it is amazing. I love everything about Big E. He's big, he's bulky. He's not too tall, though, so he doesn't tower over everyone, so he can still kind of be an underdog. He's humorous. I love his, he's got looks, and it's always funny to watch him be sassy and whatnot.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
They needed to pull the trigger on this guy in 2020. Is it too late now for it to work, or do you think he can still make it work?
I think he can still make it work. I mean, I think when you're as charismatic and fun to watch, he just has to stop doing that dive, that headfirst dive that he does. It just drives me nuts. Looks so dangerous. I really wish he would stop doing that. But anyway, Big E, I do agree they should have pulled the trigger on him in 2020. I think he was red hot right after they split him from the New Day for the first time. But, is wrestling a better late than never entertainment form? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I'm very happy for Big E. I want everybody in the New Day to do great things. I want Xavier Woods to win King of the Ring or something. I want them all to accomplish great things. So I'm very happy for Big E, and he looks very excited to win. And so that was the men's.
Before we move on, I took the time to write these down. So let's go back and just go over all the ridiculous, horrible spots that were in here that people had to go through. We already talked about Kevin Owens taking the bump on the narrow side of the ladder. There's a spot. This actually wasn't too bad a spot, but it might be the biggest flub in the match. Drew is lying flat on a ladder, and Morrison goes on the top rope to land a big splash on him, but he misses, and yet Drew sells it anyway. So Drew didn't have to take that bad of a bump, but Morrison did have to go splat there. That wasn't probably fun.
Didn't get all of it.
There's this. Oh my god. Oh, okay. There's this one spot where Drew has Ricochet's legs around his neck, and Ricochet is draped over his back like a preppy guy wearing a sweater. He then flips Ricochet over his head, and the dude lands with all of that force into a propped up ladder. Oh my god, that must have hurt.
So reverse Alabama Slam, Hardcore Holly special.
Woof, that was rough. I can't. Ugh. He did have that cool spot later where he's reaching for the ladder and Riddle pushes it over. He just jumps on the ropes and jumps into the people. Thankfully, they caught him on that one. Considering everything else people bumped for in this match, I'm glad they didn't just let him drop on his butt in that one.
Yep, that's for sure.
Drew eats a bunch of chair shots from Jinder Mahal and his crew. That must not have been fun, but you know what? Considering everything else, that probably wasn't too bad. What was it? Ricochet eats a powerbomb from Kevin Owens, and I think he might have landed on his neck and not his back in that one. Ugh. Yeah, that wasn't too great. What was it? This is probably the worst one. Like, there's a lot of bad ones. You can argue which one is worse, but this may be the worst one. Kevin Owens eats a powerbomb over the ropes and into the ladder bridge below, breaking it. Ugh, what is with this Kevin Owens guy? I like him too much for him to keep doing this stuff.
He shows up in ladder matches in a not the best way. it's always
something with that guy, just jumping off signs and all that. Ugh.
And God forbid Sami Zayn is in the match too, because Sami Zayn will just absolutely destroy Kevin Owens. They'll destroy each other in a ladder match. It's hard to watch sometimes, but luckily Sami wasn't there for this one. But yeah, that was a particularly tough.
And then
spot.
there was the finish of the match. I don't know, this one. It looked rough, but it also looked like something where maybe it wasn't so rough on the guys. Seth is climbing up the ladder, but Big E catches up and lands a big ending on him, which to me it kind of looks like an RKO, where they're both they both fall from the top of this ladder onto the mat. They land flat, they're on their backs, so no neck or anything like that, but that was a pretty big fall for that one.
Yeah, and if I had to take a move off the ladder, I might pick landing on Big E's huge arm as the move I would take.
There are a lot of scenarios where I would like to be in Big E's big arms.
Yes, I think that's a shared sentiment by many, including myself. But yeah, Big E, a lot of hellacious spots, but Big E comes out on top, and good for Big E.